I don't know where the door at. I don't know the direction. What's the GPS? Like,
Well,
I don't know where I'm supposed. I got this song. I feel like this bitch fire.
Right.
Where I'm supposed to bring it to?
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us on the Elation podcast today. We are with Miss Qween Qweezy. How you doing?
What's up, y'all? I'm doing well. I feel good.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you know, I last time I saw you, you were shooting a video here in Elation.
Designer pussy with Fiend.
Yeah, that's right. That's shout out Fiend, man. You know, that's how we all met, I think. Yep.
That was my first time here, and I was like, this studio is amazing.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. No, and you know, Fiend's family, so it was good to meet you guys through family, you know.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, good to have you here. Let's just start a little bit early on. We'll start with your origin story, and we'll just walk into this conversation. How's that sound?
Okay, that's fine.
So tell everybody where you're from.
I'm from New Orleans, the flyest girl of the 504. From the 6th Ward and the 9th Ward.
Where'd you go to high school? That's always the question.
Psy Academy is now Aberson, but by the time I started going to high school in New Orleans, it was like after Katrina, charter schools were coming. So
right.
I had a different experience, so don't judge me. Don't judge me.
Yeah, that's right. You know, after Katrina and the charter schools came in, it definitely changed the dynamics of school and the system.
For sure.
I think for a good thing, though. I think, you know, they really tried to come in and give some good education, yeah. Where it ended up, I don't know, but like they definitely tried.
That part where it ended up.
Yeah.
Even though I'm very grateful for my alumni, my school. I do work with them now. And now we don't have any more public schools in New Orleans. It's completely charter, so it's either private or charter. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know. I feel like it gave a little bit of I could actually say it took a little bit away from the parents, I think, by going to charter schools.
Yeah.
Because you don't have necessarily the amount of say, like in a public school, you would have a vote and a right to say and speak up against what they're teaching and things. Charter schools come in with their curriculum and that's it.
Yeah, like when they got me to go, like it was like, I don't want to say a cult, but like how they got me in was, it was the middle of the day. It was like, I was taking a nap. My mama woke me up and was like, hey, the people from the school is here. This is the first time. This is me going into high school, though. Like, they came like they were recruiting me. And they set me down at the table. I remember we was at my dining room table, and it was like, this is about to be a new school. This is a new experience. We're going to be traveling, all of this and all of that. One of the things in my principal, which is like the founder, his name is Ben Markovitz, he was super convincing of like all the things that we could do. Like, he embedded in us that we could change the world. And I kind of took that with me, like, throughout my life. I never took, like, no for an answer, so I, like...
Good teachers will do that for you.
Yeah, he was amazing,
Yeah, you know, teachers are, I feel like there's less of them as the world goes on, but I feel like really good teachers will instill something in you that you can take in any channel of the world that you move on to.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives you a confidence.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? Well, that's awesome. Well, so... Well, we just talked about it. What, you know, so you think the charter school had a good or a bad effect on your upbringing?
I feel like good. I'm gonna say more good than bad, because, like I said, it instilled in me that I could do anything. Right. Anything was possible. We used to do affirmations every time we went to school, and at the time,
that's awesome.
They didn't really call it affirmation. It was like our credo.
Right.
But some of the things that we were saying was just like so powerful that it aligned to like when I went to college. I just seen those things in me and my journey. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, there's certain things in charter schools that like there are charter schools that help the underprivileged, and there are charter schools that are strictly for you know, I guess rich and wealthy families. So it's kind of a broad spectrum of charter schools. What was the one that you went to? What was it specifically?
Definitely wasn't the rich one. It was just more so of like rebuilding New Orleans.
Right.
But my whole thing was like, come on now, y'all. Like, we not stupid. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot of those people, or I'm gonna say a lot of my teachers were coming from places.
Because they came from out of state.
Yeah, they were coming from places out of state. So they weren't, they didn't know about our culture. They didn't know like how we just maneuver, to be honest. And that caused a lot of conflict. But once they stopped trying to make us be something that we wasn't, and they just accepted us and met us right where we at, because that's what I do in my field of education and my work. Like, I meet kids right where they at. I don't try to make you
Right.
do all these different things. So that was something that they struggle with.
It probably struggle with the accent and some of the words that we say, right?
Like buku and groceries and making groceries. Yeah, it was all type of things, but it was just like, if this is your new home, you got to get hip to this.
Right.
Like, don't make us hip to y'all.
No, it would be the same as if moving to a Spanish country, I got to learn Spanish.
Yeah, I got to learn Spanish.
You know?
It was the same thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, so where did you go to college?
LSU.
Uh-huh. And we're not going to talk about the loss the other night. We're not going to bring it up. We're not going to bring it up. I don't know about Brian Kelly. We're not going to bring it up.
Okay,
anyway.
yeah.
Anyway. No,
I love LSU.
No, LSU's awesome. No, my wife went to LSU, graduated LSU, and you know, a lot of family members went to LSU. It's just a great college. My grandfather actually helped build the LSU Medical Center.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, way back in the day. But
do he have his name on one of the buildings?
David Burris? I don't think so.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. So Merv Trail is actually the guy who probably they do have on the building.
Okay.
But my grandfather was always the guy back in the background shaking hands. He wasn't normally the front name, which is always kind of the guy I strive to be in my life until podcast came, and then here I am.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, let's talk about your music journey. Okay. So you have not one, but two parents in music, right?
Yeah, I do.
Right? So let's talk about that.
So my daddy is Dolomite. He has a song called Hustler Hustler. They still play it. So the We Outside song, that was, I don't want to say like a remake, but that instrumental comes from my daddy's song Hustler Hustler.
Okay, I got you.
And my mama was the first lady signed to Cash Money, Miss T.
Miss T. the real bounce, right?
Yeah.
The real bounce queen in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll say that. We'll make a statement here.
The real bounce queen in New Orleans.
Oh my goodness,
yeah.
Well, so tell me a little bit about that effect. I mean, that obviously had a great, I guess you could say, you had a great overview of the industry by watching.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, what did that do for you or to you?
If I'm being honest, initially, it made me resist music because I seen all the shortcomings, all the different things that my parents experienced, and I just was like, no. So me going to LSU and going to college was just like my plan B, right? Like I always knew in my inside that I wanted to do music. I just was like, damn, it's just so much that come with music. Like, I don't know. So just for like security, I'm gonna go to college and do that. So I have a backup plan. But
what did you go to college for?
Textile and merchandising.
Okay.
Fashion and business.
All right.
Hobby.
All right.
So after I just remember my first semester, like walking, and I was like, oh, I won't do this. Because it just was like, I know what I really want to do. You know what I mean? I'm just scared of everything else, but I know what I really want to do.
Right.
And I was like, well, fuck, just finished. And LSU, matter of fact, in an apartment complex in a closet is where I recorded one of my first Qween mixes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was awesome.
So it started there.
Yeah, it started there.
So it started there.
LSU was my first live performance too. I performed at our fall fest. It was a full circle moment.
I got you. Well, you know, it's funny. I feel like great schools support their own talent involved in their system, you know, and I feel like if you reach out, they will let you perform. They will let you be in front of things, you know, and let you truly reach your goals.
Yeah.
You know, so that's great. I've always heard that about LSU. They really do a good job of that.
And it's so crazy because, and this is a funny story, but you remember I was telling you after Katrina we moved to Houston.
Right.
When we moved to Houston, I went to a high school, right? Because my high school was split. So I did some in New Orleans and then I did some in Houston.
Okay.
There was this guy, we was in this photography class. He was like, man, LSU is here. I'm a freshman in high school. So college is nowhere on my mind. But he knew that I was from New Orleans. And in his mind, he, paired the two.
Right.
And I never thought about it. And then full circle, I wound up really graduating from LSU. And I'm like, what the hell? Like that, it's always around you. Whatever you're supposed to be is always like manifesting around you.
And and 100%. And I try to tell people not to try too hard. allow the universe to work for you and just recognize the doors that are opening and closing.
Mhm.
And if you can kind of do that, you can kind of navigate through things and understand that I I mean and I'll tell you honestly, I didn't feel this way until I moved to LA to try to do music in LA, which, you know, you start in another city and then you move to LA and you realize you know nothing about music. Doesn't really how matter how long you've been doing it. Because it's just moves so fast and there's so much talent, there's so many things out there and so many things that are ahead of its time,
Mhm.
and you're just like, how do I catch up to all this? So, but I feel like it just I don't even know where I was going with that thought. I
A
feel
brain fart.
but I totally don't know where I was going with that thought. But I feel like the music we have down here is so original
Mhm.
that it has to be shown on a national stage.
Yeah, for sure.
And and
That's
and
my ultimate goal, to be honest.
and every now and then someone comes and plucks something out, you know.
It's crazy. Being in the industry is like, who are the gatekeepers? Is always my question. But I love that we have social media. So it's a different time. So
Well, so speaking of that, how do you feel about streaming?
I feel like it's unfair. Like, I feel like if I was going like a Master P route and just pumping shit out of my trunk, like I would see more of the reward, but no.
No, I've been telling people to go back to the trunk sale. Well,
No, and it's so funny because my mama, the last time we was together, she showed me a cassette tape from one of her old, like, I don't know if it was Female Baller or something, and I just was like, damn, we go from that to this.
yeah. Well,
It's insane.
once you remove something physical from the product, it's worthless.
Right.
So I feel like, I mean, there's a couple routes you can go. Like, I feel like advertising is one that music could really dip back into, which technically all of music is now, is your advertising platform for something else to make money.
Yeah.
um but if we could get like Budweiser, or I'm just making an example, Budweiser to sell a 12 pack with a QRC code that has your album on it for the first 6 months, and that's the only way you can get it, that attaches something physical,
Hmm.
physical sales.
Let me
Unt-
find out.
until we
You innovative.
and
Let me find
right,
out.
I'm telling you, if something like that happens again, then we'll start making money again. The problem is they just remove something completely from the product, and
Hmm.
now it literally is just an advertising tool to a
Yeah.
product.
Yeah.
you know but that being said, you still can make money in streaming. It's just about how you get
But
there.
it's crazy because it's like you have all these streams and you got like $50.
Mm,
Like what? It
yeah.
it just I don't know. I guess you have to find other avenues to make money in the music, but
Well,
mm,
that's why it's now an advertising tool. And that's what I try to tell artists now. Is like, you're not a musician, an artist anymore. You're a product.
right, right.
So figure out how to use your music as the advertising tool to sell a product,
Hmm.
and whatever that product may be is, and hopefully we can get back to the product being music.
Yeah, I know my cousin LA has this app, Montralon, that he's developing to where we're kind of eliminating that, right? To where the artists get, because there's other places where there's money for the artist that the artist isn't even aware of. So
Right.
he does a great way of like making the artist aware, making sure that they have all their business, their BMI. It's crazy how many artists don't have like BMIs and ASCAPs and just those different things. But
It's
just making sure you have
sad.
all.
It's
Yeah,
sad.
it's super sad.
It's super sad. And actually, I was speaking about this earlier. We don't have a union
Yeah.
or somewhere to go to find out what you need to find out
Uh-huh.
down here. In New York, you can walk into a label building. In LA, you can walk into a label building. You
That's what I'm
know,
saying. It's so secretive here.
it's
It's
yeah,
insane to me though, because I mean, like the South, just being in Southern Louisiana, we have so much talent coming, but we don't. I don't know where the door at. I don't know the
Well-
direction. What's the GPS? Like,
well-
I don't know where I'm supposed. I got this song. I feel like this bitch fire.
Right.
Where I'm supposed to bring
Where
it
am I
to?
supposed to bring it to?
So,
right.
my water
Supposed
dropped.
to go to Atlanta?
Yeah,
Right.
I lived in Atlanta.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, that's the thing. Like, that's the first thought of everybody. Like, what do I gotta move to Atlanta? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
I
mean,
love Atlanta. It's my second home. They show you so much love. But it's like, it's a mini New York. And it's like New Orleans on crack,
yeah.
if I could explain it.
Well, and it blew up quick.
Yeah.
It blew up real quick.
Yeah.
But case in point. All right, Jay-Z blew up out of New York, built this building in New York. You know, QC blows up in Atlanta, builds a building in Atlanta, stays in Atlanta. No Limit blows up in New Orleans, moves to Calabasas.
Well,
Cash Money blows up in New Orleans, moves to Miami. Where's our label building? Like, where is the actual industry here? It's not here.
yeah, it's not here.
You know, and so, well, that's why, you know, that's kind of why I built this place. You know, I was in LA 9 years, and I was coming back and forth visiting, and I realized that there's just there
resources.
is
Yeah.
nothing, and the artists don't even realize that there isn't anything here.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a lot of us that haven't left here.
Yeah.
You know,
I guess I was bust wide open, so I knew there was life. I give that to Katrina because that's the first time most people really been out of the city in their life. And we lived in Atlanta and we lived in Houston, and I got to see post-college travel, all of these different things. I've seen that it was other avenues, but one of the things they're gonna tell you is like, when I was in Atlanta, they was like, "Are you popping in your city? What's going on in your city?" They're gonna, whoever the head honcho is, those music executives is gonna ask them about you, especially if you're from this city, to see if you are really that person.
100%. There's always one guy that if he doesn't know you, you don't matter.
Yeah. So.
And who is that in the city? Can you name that guy in the city?
No, I can't. I couldn't even tell you who it is.
Yeah, I could.
I have
a
thoughts.
couple.
I have thoughts.
Fee Banks.
Okay, yeah, I have thoughts.
Fee Banks. Shout out Fee.
Fee Banks.
We love Fee.
Yeah.
Shout out Fee. He does what he can, and you know he does some work. So shout out Fee. Outside of that, I don't know, man.
But do you think, and this is a question from the outside looking in, do you think it's more of the artists not working together collectively?
Yes. Yeah.
That's kind of where we go.
So when you leave New Orleans and to do music, but you're from New Orleans, people see New Orleans as a very creative space, but they don't see it as a music business space.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because they've come down here. Like some of the opinions I've gotten where people have come down here to do business and realize that it's so all over the place that it's not truly done like business, and they don't respect it in that sense. But they love the creative juices and the things that it did for them in the creative realm, but not in the business aspect. So for me, that would mean that things don't move as fast down here because we're not understanding how the wheel turns.
Yeah. I think that's New Orleans as just a city, period. We're more lax.
Big Easy.
Yeah. It's terrible, though.
We've always been about 5-10 years behind.
Yeah,
like an island. We're like an island.
Yeah, it's
you know?
not a good.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I used to like serve and I was a waitress and I was working in the Riverwalk, and I was just like, one of the things I know is people don't like the work. I'm going to stay here and make all the fucking money.
Right.
Because I'm ready to go home. We got motherfuckers ready to go home. They don't want to clean the tables. I'm like, y'all already here. What's another hour? So it seemed like that's in every department of New Orleans. Like, everywhere you fucking go, everybody don't want to do what they're supposed to do, or the professionalism isn't there, or... That's why I feel like I'm gonna win.
It's an island. It's like Bahamas. You go to the Bahamas, you're gonna be waiting 45 minutes for that burger. It's just because it's
That's insane.
Bahamas. It's just the Bahamas.
That's insane.
You know, and you gotta be ready for island time. It's the same thing. But if we had a culture that was pushing things forward and moving forward and people making money and in a circle of that, I feel like it would create the right culture down here. And we just gotta move toward that.
I think the upcoming rappers or bounce artists, however you want to, I think we're doing a good job of like bringing it to the forefront. Like we got Rob 49.
All right. Well,
You know, like
so on that tip, who is your Louisiana Mount Rushmore for right now?
seriously,
Right now.
Lil Wayne,
All right.
Louisiana, not New Orleans, right?
Louisiana.
All right, Lil Wayne, Kevin Gates.
Okay.
Damn, I could put myself on there.
Uh,
I'm putting myself
I'm
on
asking
there.
you.
I'm putting myself on there.
You carving that stone right now.
So me, Lil Wayne, Kevin Gates, Rob 49, and L.A. Earhart. He coming. Yeah.
All right.
My goal is to be the first female artist worldwide from New Orleans, mainstream worldwide, like Mia X.
Like a Mia X, yep.
Yeah, so that's the goal. We're getting there.
Shout out Mia. We love Mia.
We love Mia. Mama Mia.
Mama Mia, she's awesome. Okay. All right. Well, so what would you say your favorite song that you ever released that's yours?
I Got Niggas. I Got Niggas is my favorite song. Because it literally started off as a freestyle. It was just, like I said, I used to do Qween mixes. So that's just me freestyling to popular beats. And never, ever. Oh, Lord. I Got Niggas took a... It just went its own way.
It just went its own path,
Yeah, and
huh?
people loved it, and it was something easier for the fans to, like, sing with me, so I just went with it. That's, like, my favorite song.
Awesome. Well, we all got one, you know?
Yeah.
We all got that one.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about, overcoming obstacles, because I know you have... Lupus.
Yeah.
Which is, something that many people suffer from.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about your journey and things you've overcome and maybe some things that have helped you
Okay.
in the industry?
Okay, so lupus is an autoimmune disease. So it's like my immune system isn't functioning correctly. Like it's constantly fighting off. They're thinking something is attacking me. So anything could kind of just trigger me. I think the hardest thing about lupus is stress, like managing my stress, especially being a rapper, being a regular person.
Oh, and music industries comes with stress.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I always kind of bump my head. But I'm also, and this is going to sound crazy, like grateful that the lupus did come because it made me start putting myself first.
Okay.
Right? Like I had to put my health first. I had to be the center of my world. And at first it wasn't really like that. Like I was people pleasing. I was trying to do all these different things. And then lupus came in and was like, bitch, you got to focus on you. Or you're going to be out here.
Right.
You're going to be gone.
Right.
And nothing is more real than you like sitting in a motherfucking hospital bed.
No.
Like, where all these fucking friends at that I thought I had? Where they at?
Right.
And it's just me. And I'm just like, it was like the biggest wake-up call.
So you had to really focus on your triggers and things that...
Y'all, I got lupus when I was turning 21.
Wow.
Imagine that.
Wow.
I'm supposed to be like, shot. Mm-hmm. No, I'm on steroids in the bed. Like, trying to see like, God, is this like, am I being punished? I was losing my damn mind. But thank God I had family. And I just knew the vision and I knew what God had placed upon me. So I just was like, I know this isn't the end. But it was just like a new way to do things. A new way to take care of myself. A new way to kind of just maneuver through life. And for the longest, it was so hard for me to really like share my lupus story and share the shit that I was going through because I never wanted nobody to feel sorry for me. You know what I mean? And I just was like, sometimes people could take advantage of me being ill, or I ain't want nobody to like do no voodoo or no crazy shit on me, like wishing, you know what I mean? I kind of kept it to myself and my immediate family knew. But the moment I started sharing, it was so many people reaching out to me. It was so many people that could identify with some of the things that I was going through. And I just was like, it'd be selfish of me to hold this in, right? And then my lupus was speaking loud. Like, it was so many things happening to my body. And of course, people was like, so what's going on with you? Like, I used to, before we even had to wear face masks, I had a flare up to where all my skin was peeling off my face. And I had to, like, mask up.
Wow.
So I just was like, let me share. But you know, this is my real life. It's emotional.
There's a lot of power
that
comes in that, or comes from that. You know, it's almost like getting a weight off your shoulders.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
And it's something, unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with forever.
Yeah.
So why hold it in?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of things that I've done to, like, increase my health, like eating better, just changing my lifestyle. So that also opened the door for me to, like, explore herbs and natural alternatives versus just medication. So
Absolutely. Which there are more herb alternatives than most people understand.
yeah, you
Like,
have to really do your research too.
yeah, but that's what Big Pharma wants. They don't want you to
I know.
they don't want you to do one Google search and figure it out. You
Yeah.
you got to actually figure.
Literally, when we was trying to like diagnose me with lupus, we was just Googling.
Yeah.
That's how. And I'm like, if I got 3 of the symptoms, then that's what it is.
Right. Right. Yeah.
It's sad, but that's how it was.
Yeah.
Because I remember driving from, I was in Baton Rouge at school and driving, and I was turning the air off and on because I had a fever, and I didn't even know I had a fever. And Mom was like, "Girl, why would you drive like this?" But I was like, "We didn't know what was really going on." So, whew, thank God.
Well, if you had to give any advice to someone who does have lupus, who's
Mhm.
struggling with maybe coming out and just being open no matter what happens with their skin or what's going on, and
Mhm.
and just I'm gonna be out in the day how it is. What's some type of advice you would give them?
You're enough. Confidence is key, and it's not the exterior, it's what's internally, what's inside of you, you know. People I didn't met the like people that were gorgeous but had a nasty ass attitude. It's all about you and the inside. So that the interior, the outside, like that shit don't matter. It literally doesn't matter.
100%.
Like you lose your hair, so many different things with your skin, girl. Pop your wig on. And then you could get sponsors for the wig. I'm just saying,
Oh
like
yeah,
it's just so
hey,
many
hey,
ways around it.
I sponsor my own hat. This is my own wig right here.
Yeah,
I got my own little situations going on.
Man, you just have to be confident and just know like you're gonna be all right. That's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, what would be? I know we asked you about your Louisiana Mount Rushmore, but what would be your top 5 bounce records that you've
Oh.
listened to?
Okay, well, I feel like bounce is like it should be separated in 2 segments.
Okay.
They have like bounce like old school bounce, the 90 bounce, which
Mhm.
is completely different from
From the new bounce.
the new bounce. So
Okay, so let's separate it.
okay.
So yeah, so let's say
All right, so if it was
old bounce.
old bounce, it'd be Why You Acting Funny, I Really Really Want You by Fit for a Weeby, and Partners in Crime.
Shout out Kango.
Fuck. Could I include Back That Ass Up?
No, of course.
Bouncy Biggity Bouncy.
Okay.
Oh, that's my juvie. Magnolia Shorty.
Yep.
Now they kind of mixing.
Yep, they mixing for sure.
So then if I would do
new
the
style.
up and coming bounce, of course, Never Ever Ever. What's the song that I listen to all the time? Baby Daddy by Dino, by the way. Damn, Making Love Treaty. 2 more.
What you think about Subtweet?
So I'm thinking of a song, but he has a lot.
Yeah, he does.
Something by Subtweet.
Okay.
And who am I missing? Who am I missing, Elle? Who am I missing? Oh. I don't even want to say. Could I put OG Perk? Ain't no walking out. Come here. Because I feel like this is why I'm including him. I feel like he was the turn, right? So
okay.
For bounce music, they always seen it as female dominant and us like rapping about our pussy and all of this crazy shit. I feel like Perk introduced it to a male perspective with the same energy.
Got you.
And then after that, it was like Subtweet showing all of them. But I'll put him on there.
All right. Well, I like that list. That's a well thought out list. I will tell you that.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, what I like to ask everybody here at the end is what brings you elation in your life? And elation is peak happiness. That's how I define it.
Peace.
Internal peace.
Wow.
I'm very good answer.
Simple.
Yep.
I just want to be peaceful. Because, happiness is temporary.
100%.
I feel like peace has a lot of longevity in it, and that's what I strive for.
Yeah,
no matter the high or the low, the success, whatever, I just want to be at peace.
I feel like there's multiple answers that give you happiness. I feel like there's 1 or 2 answers that give you peace.
Mm-hmm.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Forever.
I love peace.
So awesome. Great answer. Great answer. Well, let's tell everybody where they can find your socials and your music and
Qween Qweezy, Qween Qweezy. The Queen is spelled with a W. I'm on everything: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, all the things. Go watch my videos. Go run those numbers up. For real.
awesome. Well, thanks so much. And thanks so much
No,
for
thank you for having me. I was so
absolutely.
excited to do this.
Oh, great. I'm glad to have you. It was great. And legacy is a big thing, and we loved your mom, and she's been a big part of this city. So I'm glad to have you as well, and you
Take the
coming up.
torch.
Absolutely, take the torch and run with it. There you go. All right. Well, great. Well, thank you guys for joining us on the Elation podcast, where we enjoy exhilarating euphoria through creation and collaboration.
Qweezy.
Ah.